So in this video I want to talk about Baroque improvisation, which I've done a few videos on. But now I want to show a little bit how I do it. And this is my first lesson video, so I'm not probably the best at it, but I will try my best to show you what I do. So people have asked me if I think about chords when I play these lines, but I don't. I usually just think intervals, and especially imperfect consonances, which is thirds and sixths. We can be in the key of D minor for this lesson, to harmonic minor, to show you what I mean. And I usually think in also different octaves, so imperfect consonants in thirds, sixth, and then an octave higher, a 10, then a sixth an octave higher, and then a third even octave higher than that. So those are the main intervals that is usually you can do freely without focusing too much on the rules, which come in when you play fifths and octaves. There's something, but I can start with just playing a little line, and then I can tell you what I do. So if you just start on the bass line, so I'll just improvise, and then I'm gonna add thirds and sixths on the strong beats. Sixth, third, sixth, third, sixth, and then an octave, which is a perfect consonance, which are very good to use at the end. If you want to practice this, you can just start with clinging them together all the time, which is if you play thirds, try to harmonize just with sixths and thirds. In the beginning, it will sound good, but not like a melody, because you're not used to the sound. When I started like this, I didn't know what would come when I played, so I wasn't used to playing like this. So the lines, I couldn't predict them, but now I can predict them more and sing them and create more melodies out of it. But just to start, playing thirds and sixths are very good to do. So we have something called species counterpoint, which is what I practiced to learn this. And in first species, you have note against note. So then we'll play whole notes on the both voices. You have something called cantus firmus, which is a written line that you're supposed to harmonize, which we're going to improvise it. And then we're just going to add thirds and sixths. So something like that. And second species, you have half notes on the top voice. So we would play, and then we can add dissonance. So then we can add sevenths and on the offbeat, and sevenths, fourths, and seconds. Yeah. So if I play like this, so if this was the line that I was choosing, we can play. So here's a third, and then I go half step down to a second, and then here I play third with these. Sixth. forgot to keep the half notes on the top. So this is first species, second species. And then we have a third species, which is quarter notes on the top. And then you have fourth species, which is whole notes, but the second voice command comes in on the second beat, so 2, 3, or the third beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you get suspension. If I play a sixth. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a seventh. And then when it clinks together, you get a seventh. And then you resolve it to a. And fifth species is the combination of everything. So it's. And then you can start with three voices. There's a piece, Bach, that is. Where we can steal the rhythm. So we can see that this is very similar to a second species. Rhythm section, and the top is very similar to fifth species, so it's more open and uses different types of rhythm. But we can use that in say if I play it's a very good thing to take inspiration from other pieces, rhythm parts that you can use on your own. But then you can start to have the voices try to move the bass line after you're very used to playing. So if you have good example, but hopefully you understand. You can also use the arrangements if you have a song that you want to play. I did it in a song from BAM. And then you can which is a good thing. Adds more spice to the arrangement. You can move the voices a little bit. I will make a video later about this and more in depth on how I play. This is a very brief, short video on how I improvise and how I learned a little bit about it. But I think mostly intervals. And I also have the rules in my head. I haven't gone over them, but I will later. But the thing is, when you play thirds and sixth, when you play imperfect consonants, thirds and sixths, you're allowed to do all the different motions: oblique motion, counter motion, Schindler motion, and parallel motions without any consequences. It's when you add perfect consonants to the rules that get a little bit more complicated. But I will go over that in a later video. So hopefully this video was not too awful.